Hi, my name is Rob Welk, and I'm the owner of Welk Security and Trust, which is an insurance agency specializing in healthcare for over a decade. So today I want to talk to you about some changes that are going on in the Medicare system that are important to everybody, whether you're on Medicare or not, because it points to a problem that we all have. If you take a look at this card, this is what the new Medicare card looks like. If you notice, the ID number is a random assortment of numbers and symbols and letters. And the reason why the government is replacing the current Medicare card with a new one in April is fraud. So I want to talk to you a little bit about why they're doing that, but also the extent of it. According to the FTC, 5% of Americans every year are the victims of cybercrime. That number obviously has increased significantly over the course of the last 20, 30 years, and the trend is not good. Also in the area of data breaches, the number of data breaches that we had where very large corporations were hacked into by very sophisticated cyber criminals has grown quite substantially. It's gone from about 400 in 2011 to about 1,093 in 2017. So what does this mean to you, and what can you do about it? Well, the government's trying to make some simple changes, and I'm going to go over a couple of the simple changes they're making besides making changes on your Medicare card. But there's also some more common sense things that you can do that that are a little bit more sophisticated. Okay, so let me first of all talk about what the government's doing in my market, because they're looking for weak links, and unfortunately in my business the way people handle your information is a weak link. Because if you hand your card to your doctor's office, they spend a lot of money to make sure that everything is secure. You're walking into an office, nothing physically leaves there, all the employees are vetted, nobody has a laptop and taking computers out of there. That's a very secure system. The government, when the information gets to the government, it's very secure because their systems are rarely ever hacked into, at least in the area of Medicare. But when you deal with insurance agents, we're one of the people that deal with your information. It's not as secure because for a variety of reasons. And I'm going to go over some of the things that they're doing to try to enhance what we do for your benefit. The first thing is they don't allow insurance agents to call you on the phone. And the reason why is that the vast majority of wealth in this country, the vast majority of healthcare costs are for those that are at or near retirement, which makes you a huge target for any type of theft or fraud because there's a lot of dollars involved. Okay, so how does that protect you? Well, first of all, if I'm a criminal and I'm looking for a very simple way to get in front of you, I can try to call you, talk to you about Medicare in a way that's scary, to either come and meet with you or continue to manipulate you over the phone in a friendly way to be able to get enough information. I can also call you on the phone and have you talk long enough that I can record that with computer systems and use that recording of your voice to do phone signatures for things that you would never agree to. So those are two simple things that you can do, is to not answer your phone unless you know who's calling. And number two, don't allow someone to come talk to you about Medicare because it's illegal. Even if it is an insurance agent, there's an issue there, and that's why there's a prohibition. And here's the issue. Is if I'm your agent, if you're upset with me, you would either call me or you would go to a meeting because there's something going on all the time from other agents that compete with me. But when somebody calls you, understand that the only way that they're going to be able to make money for the time that they're talking to you is if they come and meet with you and change you from one plan to another, even if it's with the same insurance company. So they may come in to talk to you ostensibly about just changes in Medicare, but the only way that they make a living is if you switch plans. So they're not going to give you a complete understanding, or there's not a financial benefit for them to give you a complete understanding of both the pros and the cons, because like most things in life, there's a counterbalance. And so there's a huge financial disincentive for them to do that. So the second thing I would suggest to you is if someone wants to talk to you and it's clear that they're not a criminal, but they're an insurance agent and they're talking to you about Medicare, even if it's just basic Medicare stuff, just tell them that you're not willing to meet with them. If they want to meet with you, ask them when their next meeting is. And then you can go there and be a wallflower and listen to what they have to say and ask questions in a safe environment. But if somebody's being persistent and trying to get in front of you, just understand that should be a red flag to you. If you have that happen, you can call Medicare at 1-800-MEDICARE 24 hours a day, and they will submit a complaint, and it would be anonymous. and the government they can audit that particular agent. And when they audit, what they're looking for is what's called a permission to call, which is a form that they have to have filled out in your handwriting showing that you've agreed to have a conversation with them. So those are simple things you can do. Other things is try not to meet in a public area. While it may seem simple, you have to understand if criminals are so advanced that they can break into, and increasingly so, into very sophisticated, very expensive computer systems and grab information for some of the biggest companies in the country, what makes you think that if you're sitting in a Starbucks, there isn't somebody there also using that Wi-Fi system to grab your information? So if you're going to meet with somebody in a Starbucks, and you have to, I would fill out a paper application with the agent, or not meet him there. And if you fill out a paper application, then he can take it back to his office and fax it in, where hopefully you have a more secure way to do so. The second thing is, as it relates to meeting with somebody face to face, is look at how they carry themselves. I think it's important to meet with somebody face to face because, if they're not, the way they carry themselves should tell you a lot about how they run their business. If you're, because once they, get your information, you should be asking questions of how they're going to handle that. How are they going to send it in? Because if they're, and where their office is. So if you have a question or you need to get answers, to walk in. So these are just simple things that you can do to mitigate the risk of fraud. And when you get these cards, when you get your card in the mail, if you want, they're made of paper. You can bring them here to the office if you're a client or if you're not. And what we'll do is, you're not allowed to laminate them, but there's no prohibition against copying them. So we actually have a special printer here at the office that we invested in that turns it into a card material. And that allows you to hopefully not to have to replace it. And then if you need to replace it, we've got it on file for you. We can print it off. So have a nice day. If you have any questions, we can be reached here at 509-443-5416. Thank you.